Bye. See you around. Have a good life. There are many ways in which we can say goodbye. Some funny, some sad, some downright cruel. We've all experienced farewells. We may be saying goodbye for a short time, or it may be a final parting. Today's passage is what is often called part of the farewell discourse. It consists of Jesus' parting words to his close followers. It's a long goodbye, for it fills up 5 of the 21 chapters in John's Gospel, chapters 13 to 17. Rather a strong hint that the author considers this section to be an important part of his work. At one level, the passage is set in the upper room in Jerusalem in 33 AD. Jesus is sharing one last meal with his friends and followers. He is leaving the world to go to his Father. He knows that the journey ahead will be difficult because he must face the cross and suffering. He knows that his followers will have to adjust to life without him. From this perspective, the atmosphere is dark. Yet there is a second context. The setting is now a church in one of the great cities of the ancient world, possibly Ephesus. It is some 60 years later, sometime towards the end of the 1st century. Jesus' words and actions are now being written down. These memories have been preached, argued over, meditated on for many decades. The source of much of this material probably comes from a senior pastor. It may be John the Apostle, or it may be another John. His words and memories have shaped this church, but it appears that this apostle or bishop has now died, which is why his words are being committed to writing. The gospel hints at much at its conclusion. This disciple is the one who witnesses about these things and has written them down, and we know that his witness is true. From one phrase which reflects these different contexts are the words, "I have said these things to you." These words appear no less than 6 times in these chapters. I'm not a linguist, but I understand that this tense implies that something had happened in the past, which still continues to have an effect in the present. Jesus spoke these words in the upper room, but they still apply to a much later church. I have said these things to you while I am still with you, but they're still true. When we say goodbye, we often give a leaving present. One such offering is the gift of wise words for a future generation. Jesus does indeed leave counsel to his followers. He tells them not to be troubled or afraid, because he is leaving with them the gift of peace. I have said these things to you to keep you from stumbling. Yet there is a second gift. Sometimes when one person leaves, their successor is announced. That is the case here. The Lord promises his followers another Paraclete, here translated advocate. Other translations include the helper or the strengthener. This is the Spirit of God himself. And because, as John's community knew, Jesus is the revelation of God, so it is also Jesus' Spirit. He tells them, I'm going away, but he also promises, I'm coming to you. The divine presence which John's community experienced in Jesus will now be experienced in a new way. God in Jesus is now present in the community, but by the Spirit, the Paraclete. Jesus is leaving them a guide as well as guidance. The difference between guidance and a guide is the difference between a map and a SatNav. A map shows you a route, how to get from A to B. A live SatNav gives you help in a changing world. If there is a road closure, it suggests an alternative route. If you take a wrong turning, it brings you back on course. It is the parting gift of the Paraclete, the guide, that enables the writer to include, I have said these things to you so that my joy may be in you. This gospel boldly proclaims that the Lord has not abandoned his people. He comes to us in the Spirit, the Paraclete. In times of bewilderment, the Spirit guides us. In times of despair, the Spirit stands by us. In times good and bad, the Spirit will give us that deep joy of God's love living in us. Amen.